So I'm going to take you through the best 7v7 flag football plays. All right, and it's going to be a combination of man coverage beaters, cover two beaters, cover three beaters, and cover two man under beaters. All right, so the first concept I'm going to take you through, all right, we call this slant arrow. We're going to flood. All right, this is out of our 2x2, which the right side will stack our receivers. You could stack either side. You know, it really doesn't matter. We'll label our receivers from left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just how we do it. And we tell, okay, Joe, you're going to be number 2. So you run this route when we print these out and show the kids in the huddle. All right. So that's just kind of real quick. Show you how we do our numbering system and how we determine who runs what route. All right. So the concept here, we got slant arrow here and a flood concept to the right. Now this is what we call split coverage beater, meaning you have a zone beater concept to one side and a man coverage beater concept to the other. So if you come out of the huddle, if you don't know if they're going to play zone or man, all right, you come out of the huddle, you see their alignment, and you kind of tell if they're in zone or man. So if you see you're getting zone, the quarterback will look to the flood side. If you see you're getting man, the quarterback will read to the man beater side. All right, so we're going to get a switch release here. All right, he's gonna, not really switching, but we're gonna get an inside release from our stack backer. Our stack receiver. All right, inside release. He's gonna stem up, break at 7 yards. He's gonna run it out. R three is gonna run a corner route. He's gonna drive his route up for 8 yards and break to the corner. Five's gonna swing. So let's say they're in zone coverage, cover two, cover three. This is any zone coverage they're playing. This is a great beater for it. Okay, so the progression on this is high to low. So we're going to look deep. If that's not open, we'll look underneath. Shallow, if that's not open, we're going to look underneath. Okay, so we've got high, mid, low read here. A lot of the times this 4 is open, especially with this inside release. They kind of lose track of him. But the out's usually open. But again, work high to low. Because if the corner is there, you want to throw a touchdown, right? Not an 8-yard out. So if you're feeling pressure, you could chuck it down to the 5. If the center's eligible, all right, and this he's not, I don't have him drawn up, so he's not eligible. You could have him do a speed out, all right, or even a hitch. It's whatever you want to do. All right, he could be your hot throw. Now to the man coverage beater side, all right, to the slant arrow side, you're going to read slant to arrow. It really depends on how this kid is aligned. If this kid's off man, you probably have the arrow. If he's pressed, you probably have the slant. So that's what we tell our quarterback too. All right. Our Q is going to read the inside guy. If the defender covering our inside receiver, if he's off, we're probably going to look arrow to slant. If he's playing press or close up, we're going to look slant to arrow. Okay, so that's the progression on that. This is a great play. If you don't know what coverage they're going to be in, it gives you a zone beater to the right and a man coverage beater to the left. So regardless of the coverage, you have a play or a concept side that could beat that. So this is a nice little play. All right, so we're 2x2. We got our stag look here. We're going to motion the 4 across. He's going to do a 4-yard out. This is what we call is our dagger concept. All right, so we're going to get a man coverage. Zone beater here. We get a man beater here. So it's really, honestly, if it's cover 2 or cover 3, this inside dig is usually open. If it's cover 2, these safeties are out. If it's cover 3, he's here, he's here. And then if this backer that has the middle zone goes here, we have the hitch. So you're pretty much just high-lowing the inside zone defenders, whether it's a single, high, or kids playing or two safeties deep. So you're kind of high-lowing and putting them all in conflict. All right, so this is going to be a 9-yard dig. We're going to motion him across full speed. He's going to be 4-yard speed out. He's going to outside release and kind of fade slightly. It's not a fade route. It's more so a seam, but we do want him to fade a little bit away. We kind of want him just to clear this safety out, and we do want to hit underneath. So when it's zone, this is more so cover 2 man under beater, but it's also good in cover 2 or cover 3. All right, if you want to read this middle zone defender, read him. If he bails back here, you throw the hitch. If he stays flat on hitch, you throw here. A lot of times he'll see this hitch. This kid will come down and the dig's open. And if it's cover 2, this safety is here. This safety's here. This kid's open. All right, so a lot of times this dig is open regardless of the route. And if you're feeling pressure or the center's eligible, have him do a quick out to either side or just step and turn. All right, so that's dagger concept. This is the best cover 2 beater out there. All right. What I would do, actually, I really want to switch these guys around. This is what you call a scissors concept. Is it good against man coverage too? Yeah. we're getting somewhat of a snag look here. All right, we're going to get a corner from our 3. If you like the matchup, you could take it, especially against man. This kid will be pressed up. And any outside release, these defensive backs are going to have trouble tracking the football, right? So it'll be good to outside release it and fade them. Not fade, I'm sorry, run a corner because this kid's back will be to the ball. And we're going to get a 6-yard snag, okay, or stick route, whatever you want to call it. We're going to get an 8-yard stem from our 1. He's going to run a post where you're going to get a 7-yard to 6-yard stem from our 2, and he's going to break to the corner. Now, let me just put the defense out here. What this does is it puts this kid in conflict. Let's pretend they're cover 2. All right. If this kid goes here, we throw here. If this, if this kid is here, goes to him, we throw him. In cover 2 zone, they're playing deep halves. This kid has this half, this kid has this half. We are sending 2 players to their deep half. He can't cover both of them. All right. Now, what the swing does, this will keep this corner, right, from maybe carrying this vertical or helping out deep because the swing. So the swing will make him have to come down here, and then they won't be able to match it, right? Like, say, if we didn't have the swing or an underneath route, maybe this corner bails back and helps here, and then we're good. They're good. But if you swing it out and this corner collisions and really carries this to help with the safety, all right, you could have the swing wide open too. So the swing pass, long story short, will hold the corner, and then you're reading this safety if it's cover 2 zone or even if it's cover 2 man under. And again, with this, you could have him run a speed out to the scissors concept side or a hitch, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we're reading this safety. And again, you could flip the play. You could run it to either side. It doesn't matter. Reading the safety. He goes here, we throw here. He goes here, we throw here. He or she. All right. So now, 4 verts, great cover 3 beater. What is cover 3? 3 deep defenders, 4 under, right? So if you're sending 4 vertically, they only have 3. So one of these kids will be open. A lot of times, this switch release seam will be wide open. And if your center's eligible, and if he's not eligible, because I disregard the route, he just doesn't do anything. All right. If say this kid blitzes, or even if he doesn't, this quick it's like a quick hitch, but we bend it to the stacked seam side because that'll hold this kid. Because if he bails out or gets too much depth, we're kind of attacking that zone. A lot of times that'll pull this kid here. And if this pulls him here, we got this here. So we're kind of putting him in conflict and we're sitting in space. We don't want to go too much towards him. We want to sit in the gap between the zones. All right. And a lot of times the seams are open. If you like the matchup, or let's say the 2 has a cleaner release, let's say this kid's a little bit more here and he's got a cleaner, faster release, or they're bringing pressure. All right, you could throw this inside seam, but a lot of times we're going to look for the stacked receiver seam. But both of these are your first reads. Now, if you like the matchup outside, man, you could chuck it up and throw. It's not ideal because they have the leverage and they're kind of going to be backed off already. So the seams are usually open, but it's really up to you. It's a simple 4 verts concept. And if they end up playing something else, all right, or safety really is over the top, you could teach the kids to sit on it if you want to do that too. You have that option. But for us, if we're coaching youth, we'll just run it 4 verts. Even middle school, run it 4 verts. If you're in an adult league or high school league, you could have this kid read it and sit. Like if they're over the top, boom, you could have these kids sit too. All right, so you could do that as well. All right. Seems all right. That's 4 verts. I think we got one more here. All right, here's a great cover 2 beater to the left. All right, we got a smash concept to the left. Here is a great man coverage beater, one of my favorites, to the right. All right, we're gonna get a trail concept. We're gonna get 6-yard stem. He's gonna bang kind of to a post. So we more so have him slant it. So it's not really like going to the post. It's more so a really deep 6-yard stem, and then he's slanting. So it's a 6-yard slant essentially. He's going to look like he's outside releasing as soon as his defender turns because he thinks he's going to wheel. That's when we bang this back inside. When we motion, and then we're going to push pre-snap or push motion in this kid out wide, he's going to go vertical. That's going to hold this kid. Now, if the defense doesn't match this, if no one goes out with this push motion guy, because before the ball snapped, we got number 5s out here. So if they don't bump out someone over, you could throw it to him and he'll be wide open. All right, but say they match it or they roll the coverage over, you want to hit the trail. This is a great man-to-man beater. If this is great against cover 2, and it's good against cover 3 too. He could kind of sits in that zone between the flat and hook curl player. So this is a nice concept against zone, but we love the trail. The trail concept here, it's almost always open. He's going to outside release hard, kind of look like he's running like a wheel or some sort of vertical route. Then he's going to plant, step in just as that DB crosses his face, opens his hip. He's going to cross that DB's face, and it's going to be wide open. And if the center is eligible, make sure he's not running a route to the stack side. Maybe have him do a quick out this way. All right, so he doesn't collide or bring a defender that way. If the center's not eligible, obviously he'll block. All right, guys, so that was, what would I give you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. These are 5 great plays that are great for youth level, middle school, high school, adult leagues. These are all really great passing concepts. And if you're interested in this PDF, just shoot me a email, flagfootballedge@gmail.com. I could send you the PDF. All right, I could export these 5 plays and send them to you.